Sony just had their summer state of play. I watched it, and now I'm going to give you my opinions on it. I will go through some of the games that stood out to me that I have something to say about. I'm not going to cover every single game, and then at the end, I will talk about my overall thoughts. Let us begin! Now, it is a rare day when I watch a state of play that reveals a game that genuinely freaks me out with hype. It does not happen very often, and I think it is very interesting that this time it was the first game right out of the gate. We're getting a new Luminace. I love Luminous, I don't know, whatever. I am not generally a falling block puzzle guy. I don't even like Tetris that much. I know, I'm weird. Mario Kart and Tetris, what a weirdo. But I love Luminace. I think it's really great. I played it on my Xbox 360, then got the Switch one. Loved it to pieces. I don't know what it is about it. It's really cool. It's the aesthetic, it's the music, it's the way that it works. I'm terrible at it. I hate how terrible I am at it. I can't even clear like the regular arcade mode or whatever, and it frustrates me all the time. Just something about it. I can't even wrap my head around it, but I can't stop going back to it. I just think it's too much fun. And we're getting a new one, and it's the people who did Tetris Effect, so it's all like crazy visual and stuff, which is a perfect fit because Luminace is all about, like, it's got this like changing aesthetic like as you go, and it's all about integrating the music, and it's just really cool. So yeah, it's I haven't looked it up. I don't know if it's going to be a PlayStation exclusive. I'm hoping it's a timed exclusive. I'd really like it on my Switch too. But yeah, that was big for me. That was it. That was one of those reveals. I did not see it coming. But it looks awesome. So, interesting to see Pragmata again. I don't know what's with this game. I don't know what about the game is it a problem? I got like, what about the development? It's just they revealed it so long ago. They've had to delay it over and over again. And then even here, they're like like the last trailer was them being like, sorry, it's being delayed. And then here, they kind of like updated that to finally give us a year, and it's next year. So like, okay, if that ends up being true, then that's cool. But like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it is about it. And like, that's the thing, is they still haven't even shown us that much. We still have not gotten much more than just like, okay, so you're like an astronaut guy and there's a girl on your back and you fight some robots in some like spacey looking places. But like, it still just feels like we barely get what it is. I don't know. It looks kind of cool. It's got very, I mean, it's Capcom. It's got very Resident Evil vibes. It kind of just looks like if you just replace the robots with monsters, I'd buy that Resident Evil game. But I don't know. It looks fun. We'll wait and see anything about it. Just, I don't know. Well, yeah, whatever. This whole entire game is just, the whole situation is just wait and see. I guess we'll wait some more. Then we have Romeo is a Dead Man. Really cool to see Suda51's new game. It was funny, like people were like calling it in the chat, and even I was just like, man, this really is given Grasshopper vibes. Like, I mean, the style itself, but then like at the end it started showing like a little like collection of like different kinds of genres, and it's like, oh, that's a very Suda thing. And so that, yeah, everyone was all freaking out when it did end up being. It's really cool. Yeah, I really appreciate, I haven't played all of his games, but like I do appreciate like what they do stylistically. I think it's really cool. I did play some, a really good amount actually, of No More Heroes 3. I didn't beat it, but I did like it. I did like what I played. And here, I think it does look cool. I think that the general consensus, at least in the chat, that I agree with is that it was more interesting before the art style change. Like the beginning of the trailer had its own kind of style, and that was really interesting and weird. And then when it turned into 3D gameplay, it had a much more generic kind of feel. However, it does look cool. You know, they know how to do good crunchy action. It's very stylistic and stuff. And you know, a lot of it really just comes down to the story and the characters and how it's delivered and all that. It's not just about the gameplay. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be into it. But I enjoyed seeing that it exists. I liked to watch the trailer, and I'm sure it's probably going to be a pretty cool game. Then we have the gameplay reveal for Silent Hill F, and that title, I don't really follow the series, so I didn't know if this was going to be like a remake or what. But no, like this is a real mainline game. Apparently the whole idea is that they felt the series had become a little bit too westernized, so they wanted to make one that takes place in Japan. And yeah, I don't know. It looks kind of cool. The trailer kind of revealed too much. I feel like you shouldn't have a horror game where it shows the main character getting hit a lot, because that, I don't know, it kind of removes some of the fear. But whatever. It looked okay. Yeah, I haven't really played these games, but it was cool. It was fun. Is it some sort of creepy spooky monster chases you? It's all I got. Sorry. So then they revealed a new Bloodstained game, and I love that this series is a thing. You know, anytime you stick it to the man, Konami's not doing anything with Castlevania. All right, fine. Like, we'll make our own. And then like it turned out pretty cool. You know, a lot of those like spiritual successor stories don't end up good. This one did though. I hear Bloodstained was pretty good. So it's cool that it's a real series now. It's getting a new one, clearly a bigger budget and everything. Bloodstained: The Scarlet Engagement. However, the gameplay looks really rough. I don't know. It just looks very like unpolished. Kind of clunky. I don't know. Maybe it'll feel different to play. You never can quite tell just by looking at it. I don't know. Just like very stiff character animations. Doesn't look super fun to play. But I don't know. Who knows? I'm glad it exists, though. Looks cool. Then we had a trailer for a lovely little remake, Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles. And, you know, it's funny. This game, it does that thing where, like, it shows, like, the classic mode and the enhanced mode. You know, there's the classic pixel graphics and then the enhanced one, enhanced graphics and whatnot. And usually any attempt to, like, take pixel graphics and do something new with them, you know, like smooth them out or whatever, it's never good. It's, you know, like I love pixel. We all love pixel graphics. Nobody wants to see them smoothed over. But I do have to say, I'm kind of fascinated by how this game does it, and kind of like applies this filter that kind of makes it look like watercolor paper. You know, it's got like the toothy whatever, like with the little the texture to it. And I think it's really interesting. I think it looks cool. I don't know if I prefer it over the original, because yeah, the pixel art's really, really nice, but I just wanted, it's really all I had to say about this game. I think that that like new kind of filter, yeah, just like, it's like watercolor paper. I think it's cool. I don't know. Then we got a new trailer for Baby Steps. Really didn't show us anything new, but it did give us a release date, which is nice, because this is another one of those games that just feels like it was announced a pretty, I mean, not like Pragmata long ago, but a good while ago. So yeah, finally have a release date, September. I'm sure all the streamers will be playing it. That's probably what I should do. That is the kind of, if you want to be a streamer, that's the kind of game you gotta stream the funny game that everyone is playing that day. So that, I don't know, that should be fun. I don't know how good I'll be at it, but I will certainly try, because it does look very funny. Then we have Hiromi. And I don't want to be too, like, cynical about it. I think that it's like, it looks cool, but all of its different elements, it's all just been done before so many times. Like the gameplay itself, like transforming into different animals for different abilities. I don't know. I guess it just kind of looks kind of basic. And but if anything is really notable about it, is that the art style does look really cool, especially like the character itself, the way it transforms, and it's the paper and it kind of looks like stop motion. It's kind of choppy. That is cool. And I want to be more interested in the game. It's just that all these elements, they're like, papercraft world, and yeah, just the gameplay, it almost seems too simple. Too, like, I've played this before. So I'm kind of torn on it. I feel like in some ways, it looks really striking and interesting, and then in other ways, I'm like, yeah, but I don't know if I want to actually play it, though. So I don't know, maybe we'll just wait and see what people think. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. I am not currently a Mortal Kombat fan, but I did have, like, those times when I was a kid. You know, it was the 90s, so like me and my friends would play them, and I had Mortal Kombat Anthology. Was that the one on PS1 that had like some of the first couple of games? So, you know, like I have good memories, and like the movie and stuff. It's got at least a little bit of a place in my heart, so it was cool to see that they're doing a really big, it's surprising that they haven't done a collection like this sooner. So I'm sure to Mortal Kombat fans, this is a very big deal. Seems to have a whole lot of games in it. I love this trend here, you know, with Tetris and this of like, hey, let's make a collection, but like a really good one that's like humongous and has like a bunch of games, even like the deep cut ones. You know, it's like, thank you. Good. Yeah, perfect. And then them announcing a PlayStation Fight Stick that was fairly unexpected. I will say that, but I don't know. It's cool, I guess. I don't know, it looks kind of slick. Then they had a trailer for Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, and it's funny. I feel like everything we've seen about this game makes it look really good, and the graphics are really good. It looks like a really good remake. But then something about this trailer, like it was a lot of gameplay. And I don't know if it's just like whenever you show gameplay but the camera is detached in a way that is only for the trailer, it kind of gives it like an unnatural feel. I don't know, something about it was like, huh, it doesn't look as good anymore. Like it doesn't look as modern and shiny as it did in the other trailers. I don't know. I don't quite get it. I'm sure it's going to be cool though. It still looks cool. They're really leaning into this whole Ape Escape thing though. Like they ended the trailer again with like a bunch of Ape Escape stuff. And then like they teased like yet another thing. Like, is that going to be the thing for every trailer? Is like, here's going to be another funny little weird, is it a cameo thing? I don't know what it is, but that was kind of interesting. So then Astrobot comes up, and it's really funny because, like, you know, Astrobot was a success. And so now at this point, it's like, all right, are we going to get like major DLC? Some kind of like major paid DLC? Or are you going to announce that there's going to be a sequel or something? Like, what is next for Astrobot? It keeps popping up, and every time it's just like, we are happy to announce we're giving you some free levels. And it's like, hey, cool, like, great. I'm not going to complain, free levels. And then later it's like, we hope that you've been enjoying the free levels. We're happy to announce there's going to be more free levels. Okay, well, sure. Like, all right, fine. It's just like, and they did it again. First, we gave you some free levels. Then, and then we gave you like the speed run levels. And then we gave you the Christmas level. And then we gave you the extra tricky levels. Well, now we're happy to announce another handful of free levels. Okay, yeah, like I'm not going to complain. It's free content. For me, I think these little like speedrun levels, these little like, it's not quite the same thing as the base game. I'm really happy for them. I'm just really, really excited for them to like move on to some other major thing, whether it is a sequel or a DLC. I don't know. Maybe they don't have any plans for that. Maybe it is just going to be more and more and more little free speedrun levels. I don't know, but it's cool though. I'm glad to see Astrobot. And then it was interesting. He's like, we're bringing back the Astro controller, but with a twist that we're not going to tell you about today. See you later. Okay. All right. Okay, so Sea of Remnants. What even is this game? Where did this come from? What even is this? I've watched the trailer a couple times now. Okay, what have we got? Okay, so some sort of like overworld exploration, adventure kind of thing. But then it shows some sort of like third-person action thing, but then later there's a clip that kind of looks like it's maybe turn-based. So maybe that was him entering a battle and then it's turn-based. But then you also have naval combat and possibly like exploration. But like, but then the naval combat has like these giant bosses. Yeah, I don't know. This game looks amazing. This game looks really super interesting, really incredibly unique and interesting style. Everyone is like made of wood or something. It's incredibly colorful. I love this mix of gameplay ideas. I love pirate and nautical stuff. I love like sailing ships, Age of Sail stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I am fascinated by this game. I don't quite get it. I don't quite grasp it. And yet I am very, very excited to learn more. Because, yeah, Luminace was great because I really love Luminace. That was, you know, maybe the highlight. But as far as, like, new game announcements go, like, this is one that really grabbed my attention. I'm very, very excited to see where this goes. Then we had Sword of the Sea. And what can I say? Just looks cool. You know, it's that journey kind of thing where it kind of just looks like you're moving through these beautiful areas, and it has like a cool movement system. Looks like it looks good. It feels good. Artistically, just looks very interesting. And yeah, it's one of those it's a gimme, you know, one of those easy games. You're like, yeah, that looks good. Of course it does. Of course it does. Yeah, I'll probably play that. I don't know how long it's gonna be. I hope it's like 2 hours long, and I can like play it and be like, that was amazing, and then just like be done with it. That'd be awesome. I'd be very happy with that. Then we had a new 007 game, First Light, and I feel like this was probably like one of the big ones. You know, this is one of the ones that the executives are like really just like gung-ho about. I don't know if this game was like kind of in response to Indiana Jones. Maybe, you know, the whole like film series, let's bring it back as a AAA video game. I'm not sure. I am not personally a big fan of 007. I did, you know, kind of like Mortal Kombat. I had like a little period when I was like in middle school. I think a lot of 90s kids had their little James Bond phase, strictly because of GoldenEye. Just completely because of GoldenEye. But yeah, beyond that, I'm not a big fan. The trailer, I don't know, it looks fine. It's cut like a movie. You know, it really does just kind of look like a trailer for a movie. Only very small snippets of gameplay. So I guess I don't know quite what to expect. But yeah, I don't know. Indiana Jones game did good. Maybe this'll do good. I don't know. Then the presentation ended with Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. I guess it's a Marvel fighting game, but like very Japanese flavored. It kind of just feels like an anime, essentially. All the voice acting was all in Japanese, and it's not something I could have seen coming. And it's also not something that I'm into. I'm not a fan of Marvel or fighting games, and yet I can really appreciate it. I can really appreciate that they did this, and I feel like there's going to be a good chunk of people for whom this really works for them. You know, I can see there being people who are like, oh yeah, this is a really, really good little intersection of my interests here. Stylistically, it looks really interesting. It's fun seeing all these Marvel characters, but they're kind of animate up, I suppose you could say. Pretty cool. It was interesting ending the presentation on that, and then they did like a little behind the scenes thing. Not a good way to end a state of play. I'm not gonna lie. It went on a little bit long, and like, it's just kind of not, I don't know, it's a momentum thing. It's an energy thing. That's not the way, you don't end the presentation with the long behind the scenes thing. Kind of took the wind out of the sails right at the end there. And it was kind of like, we're all waiting for like, is there going to be like one more thing though? And there wasn't. But if anything, it just goes to show that they find this a very important game, and they really want to show it off, I guess. They seem to be very, very proud of the product, and I think that's cool. So yeah, that's the main stuff. Overall, it's like Sony has a problem with these presentations, obviously. They have a hard time making them entertaining. And then, of course, the generation-long problem of Sony not really having a lot to give us for reasons we won't go into here today, relying on a lot of third-party stuff. And yeah, there was a lot of good stuff here. That's the thing. There were a lot of individual things that are really gonna do it for certain people. Again, mine was Lumines. This is right there, right at the beginning. There were brand new game reveals. There were first looks at previously announced games. So there was stuff in there. I think it's just that like each individual thing was, I don't want to say niche, but like there was no one thing that really appealed to like a super wide audience. And so your mileage will kind of vary, where for some people, you know, they watch this and they're going to be like, that was garbage. There was nothing. But then like some other people are probably watching it and being like, are you kidding? They just revealed like a bunch of the best stuff in the world. So it really just depends on who you are and what you like. Because there was stuff in there. It wasn't the most entertaining overall, just like as a presentation. But there were games in there. There was stuff in there. There were some good announcements, so I don't know. Can't complain too much. I got Luminace. And then that other one looks Sea of Remnants looks really cool. So between those two, I don't know. I'm happy. That's probably more than I usually get. That's probably more than I usually get from these. So so there you go. Today was my lucky day. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.